expiration date on your career, or is it 8 years and that's it? Or when will you try and go into, having a family, or would you have kids and then go back to boxing?
That's what I want to do. I feel like I've put too much time on hold on having a kid and being married and stuff for boxing already. I'm going to have a baby next year. We already have it planned out. I'm going to have a baby next year. And then after I go through my stuff, then I'll come back and fight some more, and then probably have another one and then do the same thing again. Like, I don't want to wait till I'm, 40, 43, whatever, after my career to have my kids.
Right.
I want to be able to run at the park with my kids and stuff like that. I don't want to be too old. So I think that keeping my body in shape, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I think that
Drama has always lived in the world of hip-hop, but sometimes it's not about the music, the charts, or even the money. Sometimes it's about the raw, messy, heartbreaking things that happen when love and fame collide. Right now, one of those storms is swirling around Remy Ma, Papoose, and, surprisingly, Claressa Shields. It's the kind of story that makes fans stop scrolling and pay attention, because it's not just about two artists anymore. It's about betrayal, family, and the shocking possibility of new life becoming part of the chaos. When whispers began to spread that Claressa, the undefeated boxing champion, had hinted at baby drama tied to Papoose, the internet erupted. And in the middle of it all stood Remy Ma, the woman who for years seemed untouchable, now suddenly reduced to tears in private as her once solid love story started cracking in front of the world's eyes. For anyone who has followed their journey, the idea of Remy breaking down is almost unthinkable, but that's exactly why this story has hit so hard. It's not just celebrity gossip, it's a collapse of trust that people never thought they'd see. The rumors didn't start with fireworks or headlines from major outlets. Instead, they crept in quietly, like shadows slipping through cracks. Small blogs picked up hints that Claressa and Papoose had a bond that was more than casual friendship. At first, no one took it seriously. After all, Papoose has built an entire reputation on loyalty to his wife, standing by her through the darkest days of her life. But then the conversation shifted. The words baby and Papoose began appearing together in tweets, posts, and whispers, and suddenly the whole tone changed. Baby drama is different. Baby drama isn't just speculation about a fling or a late-night DMs. It's the kind of rumor that can rip a family apart at the seams. And once Claressa's name got tied to it, fans knew this wasn't just idle chatter. This was about betrayal at the deepest level, about the possibility of new life tied to a man who had always sworn his devotion to his wife. For Remy, hearing those whispers wasn't just painful, it was like the ground being pulled out from under her. The reason this scandal cuts so deep is because of what Remy and Papoose represented to people. Their story wasn't like other celebrity romances. When Remy was locked away, facing years behind bars, Papoose didn't just walk away. He didn't choose someone easier or chase freedom. He stayed. He wrote letters, visited her, defended her name, and waited patiently for the day she would come home. That kind of loyalty is rare in life, let alone in the ruthless world of hip-hop where relationships can rise and fall faster than a hit single. When they finally tied the knot, fans felt like they were watching a victory for true love, a story that proved commitment could survive even the hardest tests. Every time they appeared together, whether on reality shows, in interviews, or on stage, people saw that love and believed it was unbreakable. They became a symbol of ride or die, a couple who made it through storms stronger than ever. And now, that very image is being dragged through the mud by whispers of betrayal that no one ever thought they'd hear. What makes this twist so painful for Remy is that it doesn't just hit her heart. It hits her pride, her image, and the reputation she's built for years. Remy isn't just another celebrity. She's one of the most respected female rappers in the game, someone who fought for everything she has. From her early days in the Bronx to standing toe-to-toe with the best in the industry, she's always carried herself as strong, unshakable, and fearless. But when she heard about the baby drama, insiders say she broke down. Tears, anger, disbelief. It all came crashing down on her at once. Imagine being the woman known for strength and suddenly realizing the man you trusted above all others might have betrayed you in the most personal way possible. It's not just heartbreak, it's humiliation. And in the world of hip-hop, where image means everything, that kind of humiliation feels like a scar that never fades. For fans who have followed Remy and Papoose for years, this scandal feels almost impossible to process. People remember how he held her down during prison, how he proudly called her his queen, how he spoke about her with nothing but respect. So to now hear Claressa's name tied to him in this way, it doesn't just make people angry, it makes them question whether true loyalty even exists anymore. And it raises another painful question. Was the love story everyone admired ever as perfect as it seemed? Or were there cracks beneath the surface that Remy tried to hide from the public? Cracks that finally split open when the baby drama came to light? These are the questions swirling in the minds of fans, bloggers, and insiders who can't stop talking about what might be the most shocking hip-hop scandal of the year. But to really understand why Remy's alleged breakdown hits so hard, you have to go back to where it all began. Long before the rumors, before the headlines, before Claressa's name ever entered the conversation, Remy and Papoose were building something people thought would last forever. He was the man who showed up for her when so many others would have walked away. She was the woman who stood tall beside him, proud to call him her partner in love and life. They weren't just a couple, they were a movement, proof that loyalty could shine through even in the darkest times. Every interview they gave, every joint appearance they made, only solidified the belief that their bond was untouchable. And yet, here we are, watching that very bond get ripped apart by whispers of betrayal, rumors of a baby, and the painful possibility that the love story wasn't as unbreakable as it looked from the outside. The tragedy in all of this is that Remy and Papoose weren't just living for themselves, they were living for their fans too. They gave people hope, a reason to believe that love could last even when the odds were stacked against it. And now, with Claressa's name in the middle of their drama, that hope feels shattered. Fans who once looked at them as an example of strength are now left shaking their heads, wondering how it all went so wrong. Did Papoose really step out? Did Claressa really play a role in breaking apart one of hip-hop's most admired couples? Or is this all just a case of rumors spinning out of control? Nobody knows for sure. But one thing is undeniable. The damage has already been done. The whispers have turned into conversations, the conversations into headlines, and the headlines into a storm that Remy Ma can't escape. And for a woman who has always stood tall, hearing that she broke down in private tells us just how heavy this storm really is. When the whispers about Claressa and Papoose's alleged baby drama grew louder, insiders say Remy Ma reached a breaking point. This wasn't just another gossip headline she could brush off. It was personal, raw, and terrifying in its potential to destroy everything she had built with Papoose over nearly 2 decades. Reports describe her as being crushed, retreating from the public eye, and breaking down in private moments. For someone like Remy, who has carried herself as tough, unshakable, and untouchable in a world that often eats women alive, this kind of vulnerability felt shocking. Imagine being the person everyone looks to as a symbol of resilience and suddenly finding yourself crying in silence, wondering if the love of your life has just shattered the very foundation of your world. That was the reality for Remy when the baby rumors tied to Claressa began spreading like wildfire across social media. For her, it wasn't just about betrayal, it was about humiliation, about having her most intimate fears turned into entertainment for millions of people online.